Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's the Eradicator, and in this video we will be talking about some of the older now landing zones of Star Citizen that I believe need a little bit of love from CIG. And we're going to talk about why, guys. So we're going to first start with some of those landing zones that we're going to talk about. And here is precisely I want to talk about especially Area 18 as well as New Babbage. I mean, it's crazy to think that New Babbage now is like older landing zones, right? But come on, it was originally introduced in 3.8 and released in 3.9 and 10. And we're already in 3.14, so that's already a year ago, well over a year ago now. And now we have this brand new landing zone, Horizon. Lorville is going to get some extra love as well in the future, as announced with the work here being done by the Montreal team. And so I also noticed, starting 3.13, 3.14, that players mostly go to Lorville, and especially now at 3.14 they are going to go to Horizon as well because of how awesome Horizon is going to be, and especially because most of the action, let's face it guys, most of the action is taking place around planets Crusader and the planet Hurston at the same time. And I think it's unfortunate because I think that especially Area 18 but also New Babbage have a lot to offer. Can you imagine Area 18 ArcCorp being an entire city planet, something that was a dream for a lot of players many years ago, is now something that we have available in Star Citizen, and we don't really have much to do there and not a lot of reasons to go as well. So what is there first there to do for players around those planets? Well, around the ArcCorp, you have a mission giver, at least, right? Which is not the case on New Babbage, obviously. But you have a mission giver to teach up Chico, but she's a criminal mission giver. So if you're like me, a law-abiding citizen, that is not really going to be something that's going to be very interesting. And you have a couple of bespoke missions around them, including a mission in which you have to go to a bunker to clear out. It's basically a drug stash, right? So you have to destroy all of the contraband there. And you also have an 8-night job mission that was hijacked that you have to clear, and that's pretty much it. You don't have, for example, any bounty hunting missions. You don't have any security missions there that you have maybe around other planets. So it's kind of like dead. There's nothing that involves the reputation system, for example, which a lot of people are excited about because it finally gives a reason to be grinding, where you get some extra bonuses, more payouts, and in the future we're gonna have extra items. There's none of that, unfortunately, around Area 18, and I think that it is unfortunate, and it just makes people abandon this city, which again should be better alive than dead, in my opinion. But there's also New Babbage as well. What is there to do around New Babbage and around Microtech? Well, just like around the Area 18, you also have an 8 mission. You have some bunker missions as well that you don't have on Area 18, unfortunately, or around Area 18. And a couple of these bunker missions also take place around the moons of Microtech, and that's basically it as well. Now, in the past, when trade was something profitable, right, then there were lots of traders around New Babbage and as well Area 18 buying and selling goods, and it made the place far more alive. But unfortunately, as you know, trade is ongoing a major rework, and we are not going to see the fruits of all of that labor for a very long time, which is why it is still not an activity that we would recommend at this time, and people are shying away from this activity. Even some of the most famous traders like Sigillian or Jack Axton are not really trading that much so often anymore, simply because it's not just something profitable and interesting to do anymore. Now, with 3.13, sorry, we're introduced to a couple of new missions, including the new delivery missions, which are, for example, the time-sensitive delivery missions or the timed delivery missions as well. But again, these have problems too, and especially the problem is something that CIG did say in the post-mortem that they released last week, is that these missions do not pay enough. Simply, to put it mildly, the time that players invest is not worth the reward, and this is something that CIG should have known. That this is something that is quite unbelievable to say, because they are the guys making the game, but in the end it doesn't feel like they are playing the game enough to know what the expectations of players are, which is why when I see, for example, something like John Crew playing the game on his Twitch channel, this is something that I would like to see more often from the devs. But at the same time, I can also understand what they're saying. The reason why they don't play the game that often outside of their working hours is because they live, they breathe Star Citizen all the time, and when they go home, the last thing that they want to do is to work, right? Because Star Citizen is work for them. So I can understand that they are not playing Star Citizen at home and maybe not streaming or spending maybe as much time as they should playing the game instead of working on the game. But at the same time, I think that this is also an effort that they should do in order to know exactly what the expectations of the players are, rather than relying on some of the feedback on Reddit or Spectrum, which may not always be very well reasoned or very well pragmatic or very well thought, because a lot of people are just haters, or they're just screaming, oh, this is not working, this sucks, and that's pretty much it. It's very important that you give the devs some constructive feedback so that they can know exactly what to do, right? And so this is exactly what I'm doing to do here in this channel right now. I'm going to try to give some feedback and some ideas for the devs. And I think that what these places need, especially, around Microtech, around ArcCorp, we need to have bounty hunting missions there too, since bounty hunting is the big thing in 3.13. It is still going to be the big thing in 3.14 as well. Why not adding bounty hunting missions around ArcCorp and New Babbage? This is something that I don't understand, is that all of these bounty hunting missions, almost all of them are happening in asteroid fields. Sometimes there are a couple of bounty hunting missions around Security Post Korea, or also around the Kovalex Gondo, around Daymar, but that's basically pretty much it. Bounty hunting missions do not need to be happening around asteroid fields all the time. In fact, I, for one, I don't know about you guys, and that's going to be the giveaway question, by the way. If you want to be earning a Gattac Raylan with LTI, you have to answer the question I'm going to ask right now and subscribe to the channel. Would you rather dogfight in an asteroid field or in deep space? As far as I'm concerned, I would much rather dogfight in deep space, simply because I hate interference, whether it is from other people, which is okay because it can be players, but especially I hate interference from outside objects. For example, the other day I was dogfighting against AI, and about half the time the AI ended up crashing against the environment, and that made me so furious because, sure, I got a reward, okay, that's great, but it wasn't because of me, it wasn't because of my actions. It was either because the AI didn't know how to fly, or it was because there was some desync or whatever, right? It just felt like it just didn't feel so right. It just didn't feel like I was the reason why I got paid and these NPCs got destroyed. It was because of outside interference, and I found that very annoying. That's why I don't like fighting in asteroids. I don't like fighting around stations. I like to fight in deep space, where it's just going to be about skills and pure flying, pure flying precisions, and not because some asteroid will be there and the AI or the players will not see them and crush it. It's just very annoying. So please, CIG, if you're watching this channel, please bring in some combat missions around ArcCorp and around Microtech in deep space, because there are no asteroid fields there yet, right? Hopefully there will not be, and so it can make for a different type of dogfight that maybe some other players are going to be enjoying, players who do not enjoy asteroid fields like myself. And so that means that similarly to bounty hunting missions, you can also bring in some of the other combat missions that are available around those various planets and asteroid fields in the Sentinel system around ArcCorp and Microtech 2. CIG, you can also bring back the ECN missions around ArcCorp and around Microtech as well. That will also give combat players an opportunity to stay around these planets instead of just hanging around Lorville and Crusader 2. There are possibilities, to bring some of those ECN missions around the orbital markers. There are also some comsats as well. That could be a nice area of anchor for some of those areas. So there are definitely possibilities to bring extra missions, not just the 890 gem mission, but also smaller missions too available for players. Speaking of the 890 gem mission, I think that it is also very important to maybe try to do a couple of changes there. One of the biggest change I think is that the security forces need to be more distinguishable from the pirate, especially with their, maybe they should have like brighter colors or something that could make it easier for the players to understand that these are security and not enemies, because very often you're in the midst of the action, you're just shooting on sight whatever is around you, and then all of a sudden when you are in the hangar of the anti-jump, you had no idea that the security had killed all the enemies. Because you're just there, you want to you want to save your life, you don't know what is going to happen to you, you see something, you shoot, and then you shoot the security. There should be a way to try to maybe get the security to say, hey, don't shoot, I'm an ally, or something like that, so that the players could know that if they shoot, they are going to get in trouble, or at least give some kind of tolerance here when you shoot the security, some kind of friendly fire tolerance, so that you don't get to prison. Almost every time I do the 890 jump missions, which are great, because you get to fight in a small enclosed FPS environments with a lot of enemies in the 890 jump mission, which is really exciting for sure. But at the same time, this is why I avoid that mission, and there are plenty of other players who avoid that mission too. The risk of being sent to prison because of an accidental friendly fire is far too great, and eventually, sure, it pays 45,000 Alpha UEC to complete the mission, but the risk is not worth the reward, because what's the point of trying to get 45,000 Alpha UEC if in the end you get stuck in prison for 2 hours? It is not just worth it. So there we have it, guys. I think that there are a couple of small fixes that I think CIG should do in order to make those two planets, Microtech and ArcCorp, a little bit more attractive. Bring in more missions, bring the combat missions to these areas. We desperately need those, and the 890 gem mission, which is a cool mission, needs to be slightly adjusted in order to stop sending people to prison that often. That's all for this quick video, guys, but also let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys improve to make ArcCorp and Microtech a little bit more attractive? I'd like to know what your suggestions will be in the comment section down below. Also, big shout out to Uncle Funk, Matt Shiminas, and Dragon Ghost for sponsoring this month giveaway on the Discord channel. I'm giving away lots of things thanks to them: a G12 with LTI, 3 sets of Grey Cat armor, $25 in RSI gift cards, $10 and $10 as well. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. Also, please check out Uncle Funk Machimina's Machimina videos in his channel. The link is in the description down below. What you're seeing here is Daymar Dreams, which is a recreation of the Daymar Rally. Also, a shout out to Dr. Forbin and Tala for sponsoring this video. I will see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.